Hi, my name is Julie Boyle, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Courtois Neuromod project, a deep multi-domain fMRI dataset to build individual brain models. So one of the objectives of the Courtois Neuromod project is to create a deep neuroimaging dataset that probes numerous cognitive domains that include vision, language, audition, emotions, memory, and video games. And the main motivation to creating this data set is to be able to use the data sets to train artificial neural networks on individual human brain activity and behavior. And lastly, and kind of the focus of this talk, is that we'd like to take this data and share it with the community. So I'm going to tell you more about the data itself. So we use the word deep, and I wanted to talk to you a bit more about what we mean by deep. So we mean deep individual sampling. And to put that word in context and what that means, there's a figure here by Nasalaris et al. That was published in 2001. Essentially, they mapped available data sets, or data sets that were available, along two axes. You have on the y-axis the number of subjects that study a data set scanned, and the hours of fMRI per data. What you see in the upper left-hand corner is a UK biobank, where they scan thousands of participants for a couple hours each. And in the lower right-hand corner, you see the natural scenes data set, where they scan 8 participants, but for 40 hours each. And right next to NSD, you see a little bit off the y-axis is the Courtois Neuromod data set. And of course, because they had to fit this into a figure inside of a paper, but just to give you context of where we would actually be situated in compared to these data sets, I'm going to extend the graph. So this is what the graph would look like at the moment of submission to our OHBM abstracts, where we were just starting to peak the 100 hours per subject for each individual subject. And to give you an idea of what we're really trying to get at, or what we're aiming towards, this is what the end of the Courtois Neuromod project, which will end in 2024, will likely look at, where we're trying to probably aim for 350 hours of functional neuroimaging data. So whom are we scanning? The inclusion criteria for our participants were not too stringent, understandably. So participants just needed to be generally healthy, MRI and MEG compatible, have a normal hearing for their age. They needed to have a solid comprehension of the English language, because all of our stimuli are in English. And last, but definitely most importantly, be willing to be scanned for 1.5 to 3 hours a week for at least 5 years. So we recruited 6 participants. They happened to have been half men and half women. At the age of recruitment, participants ranged between 31 and 47. They all happened to be right-handed. And in terms of their maternal languages, we had Francophones, we had Anglophones, and we had 2 natively bilingual participants. And this is a little bit about our scanning setup. So what you see on the left-hand side is our fMRI scanning setup. So you see that in fMRI, we present sound using the Sensometric S15 system. We use an eye tracker, an MRC eye tracker, to track the eyes during task acquisition. Whenever there's a response or an action to be taken, we generally use our custom-built video game controller. And participants use the custom-made CaseForge head cases. And while we're recording, or while we're scanning participants, we use a BioPAC system to record ECG, pulse, respiration, and skin conductance. And what you see on the right-hand side of the figure is that we've actually used this we've mimicked this setup in the MEG minus the eye tracker. So where are we at? This is a graph that summarizes the hours of acquisition per subject as of December 2021, when we submitted this abstract to OHBM. So what you see on the y-axis is the number of hours we've acquired, and then we have it per individual subject. And what you're going to notice is that there's really 3 subjects that have peaked over 100 hours, with sub-03 just under 100 hours, but has since caught up. So we definitely have 4 subjects that have over 100 hours at the moment. And what you'll see is 2 subjects that have been scanned much less, and that's in part due to life circumstances, COVID being one of them. So I think what we're starting to see is we're really going to have 2 sets of participants, one hyper-scanned set of participants, or at least very intensively scanned, and then one just intensively scanned, or 2 participants will just be intensively scanned. In terms of data set that we've acquired so far, we've acquired 5 seasons of Friends. We've acquired numerous video games, so Mario and Shinobi. We've acquired some visual functional localizers, as well as the HCP tasks. We've acquired reading of a Harry Potter chapter called Potter. That's the data set. And we've also acquired Things, which is an 18 hours of a weekly for covering 36 weeks of memory tasks using the Things images. So what can you look forward to in 2022 and 2023? So currently, what are we acquiring? In terms of setup validation, we're in the process of building a task called Audition that we'll be acquiring this year, where we're going to be doing auditory thresholds in the scanner to be able to assess sound quality of our stimuli. We're going to use, in terms of cognitive tasks, we're going to put image 10K in the scanner, which is 12,000 images that have been taken from the public domain. We're currently scanning triplets, which is a task in which participants are shown a target word and they need to choose which of two other words match closest to that target word. There's the emotions data set, which is based on the Cohen's gift, which include gifts that have been annotated for their emotional content. We plan on doing more localizers, but in particular language localizers. And we're going to do a task called multi-FS, which is based on multiple different types of stimuli. Well, in terms of naturalistic tasks, you can expect more video games. We definitely love video games here at Neuromod. We're currently scanning Mario Scars in the scanner, which is Mario All-Stars. We're hoping to scan Mario Meg any minute now, and we're planning on doing some Mario 3 in the fall. We're also really hoping to acquire the narratives data set, and we're currently acquiring season 6 and 7 of Friends in the scanner. So all this data talk is great, but how do you get access to it? So I'm glad to say that by the time you hear this talk, our data set, our data bank will be open, so you can apply to get access to the data. The format will be a registered access, so that means a PI of a lab with university credentials can go onto our site and write a short text about the type of research they want to do, so we can ensure that it matches the consent that we obtained from our participants. Our institution signs some data transfer agreements, and boom, the data is yours. So the data is in BIDS format. You can access it using DataLab, and even without the official access, you can go and look at the structure and the type of data that we have included in the data bank. And the fMRI data is pre-processed using fMRI Prep LTS. Now, if you want to go get that data, you can check out our website, www.cneuromod.ca, or pause this video and scan the QR code, and that will bring you directly to our website where you can fill out an application. So in conclusion, by the end of 2022, we'll have acquired 8 new data sets totaling up to 200 hours of fMRI and MEG data per subject. This will make us the largest functional neuroimaging database collected on individual subjects. And what we hope is that this is going to open a unique avenue to build individual AI models of interactive processes of the brain. So last but not least, I'd like to take a moment to thank the entire CNeuromod team that are located a little bit all over the world, as you can tell by all the affiliated institutions that are involved in Neuromod. Special thanks to François Pagam, who is amongst numerous skills that he has on in the team. He's also very kindly offered to edit this video so we can present to you our data. The subjects themselves, because without them, none of this would have been possible. The scanning crew that matches 1 hour to 1 hour to the subjects every week without fail. And last but definitely not least, the Courtois Foundation that gives us the money to make this project possible. So hoping to see some of you at OHBM in person, and bye for now.